Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video as well. So today we are going to talk about a buck converter. A buck converter steps down DC voltage using a switching device, for example a MOSFET or IGBT, an inductor, a capacitor and a diode. So we are going to design a buck converter using MATLAB Simulink. So the first thing we need to do is to simply open the MATLAB. So we are going on the search bar. We can see MATLAB R2024A, which is the 2024 version. You can use the 2018 version as well. So we click on MATLAB. So we have opened our MATLAB. So we go to Simulink. We maximize. We open a blank model. Let me maximize as well. So this is the environment where we are going to build our circuit of the buck converter. So what are we going to use to build our circuit? We use electrical components. The electrical components are either found on the library browser or by simply typing here on the IDE or on this environment. So you just click here and type whatever you want. So for those who want to use the library, you go to library browser. It's loading. So you go to Simscape. You can scroll here. As you can see, we have Simscape here. So under Simscape, we go to electrical. So under electrical, that's where you get the sources, which are the voltage sources, a battery, the current source, three-phase, single-phase controlled voltage source, electrolyzer, a fuel cell. You can also find sensors under Simscape. You can get accelerometer, the current and voltage sensor. You can get a gyro, a Hall effect rotor encoder, and many more. So what I'm going to do for us to finish this video quite early, I'm just going to type here on the environment. So the first thing we need is a voltage source, a DC voltage source. So we click here on the environment, we type DC voltage. So we need a DC voltage source, right? Which is direct current. So we click our DC voltage source and there it appears. Then we need a controlled pulse generator. A controlled pulse generator is used to control or to produce pulses at a controllable rate. So we're gonna type controlled pulse PWM signal, this one. That's what we want, right? Then we're gonna need a switch, either a MOSFET or an IGBT, which acts as a switching device. It's found under Simscape, electrical, under Simscape, electrical, specialized power systems. So you have to go to specialized power systems under electrical. So let me close this one. You go to specialized power systems, and then you go to power electronics. That's where you get the switch, the MOSFET switch. Or simply a switch. The MOSFET. Or IGBT. We have IGBT diode or IGBT. We have the MOSFET. So it depends whatever I want to use as a switch. So I'm going to take the MOSFET. This one. We'll drag it. We'll leave it here. That's the MOSFET. Then we are going to need a diode. So a diode is used to allow the current flow when the switch is off. So the diode's work is to allow the current flow when switch is off, and current will flow in one direction, as we know that a diode is not bi-directional, it's unidirectional. It allows current to flow in one direction and offers high resistance in the reverse direction. So we found the diode under Simscape, electrical. We go to fundamental blocks and then elements. That's when we find the diode, or simply typing diode. We are going to need an inductor, so we just type inductor. We are taking electrical elements. So to find the inductor, we go to Simscape here. From Simscape, we go to electrical, and then from electrical, from Simscape, go to electrical, and then from electrical, we go to passive. That's when we get our inductor, or simply typing inductor. This is our inductor, right? Then we need a capacitor. A capacitor is used for smoothing the output voltage. An inductor is used for smoothing the output current. So we have the capacitor here. So if you want to use the old method, simply Simscape, electrical, passive component, you get the capacitor, this one. And then we need a resistor. The resistor simply represents the load. So we're gonna type resistor, right? We have a resistor. We need a voltage sensor. So we are going to go on Simscape, electrical, then we go to sensors and measurement. So I'm gonna close this one, the passive, and I'm gonna close the specialized. So we need to go to sensors and what is sensor? We need to go to sensors and measurements, or sensors and transducers, whatever. If you're using 2018, I'm sure it writes sensors and measurement, or the 2024 is writing sensors and transducers. We need a voltage sensor. So here we can see we have a current sensor, we have an accelerometer. So what we are looking for is a voltage sensor, which is here. So we drag it and place it here. And then we need a scope. So a scope is to observe the waveforms produced. So we can simply type scope and we can find our scope. Now, I believe we do have all the equipment required to form the buck converter. So, but we can't run this without the power GUI. So we type continuous. That's when we type power GUI, which is written continuous inside it. Without this, you can't run a Simulink model. So we need this, the power